What we see happening around the world is many training companies are doing things like Prince2 Foundation or Prince2 Practitioner, and very often they're just very theoretical, which means the only time that people actually get to translate the theory into practice is back at work. What Taylor Cox has done is they've actually incorporated parts of a business simulation game into the theory itself. So that means in each small block of theory in the training, people get to practice and apply it in the game environment. That's when they can bring all of their learning about the whole phase of Prince2 together in one business simulation game. That's when they have to really demonstrate that they can actually manage a real project using the Prince2 theory. And the game can actually be used as part of training, such as you plug it onto the back of Prince2 training, or it can be used as a team building, as a culture change instrument. Each set of players will come up with how can we apply the Prince2 methods and how will that work for us as a project team. Often when you play the game, people recognize in the game failures that they also experience in real life, and they say, wow, this is just like real life. Then between each game round, they actually apply Prince2 theory to solve those problems, which means at the end of the day, they actually capture real concrete improvements they can take away and apply. The team built today a visual management system. What does that mean? They built a whole set of flipovers along the wall to show the business project planning, the quality requirements, the risk matrix, the status, and even the business value that had to be realized. Everybody was able to see in one snapshot the visual status of the project. And this helped them with their dialogue, with their discussions, with their understanding and prioritization. We've got a whole series of games. Taylor Cox also uses the Apollo 13 simulation game, which we built to support ITIL, one of the top frameworks. Very many people complain that they've been on the ITIL Foundation training, and there's more than 2 million ITIL certificates worldwide. But 70% still don't get the value from applying ITIL, because all they have is it in theory. We've got another game that Taylor Cox has, which is the Grab a Pizza game, which is a business and IT alignment game, which has been one of the biggest problems for the last 15 years. And this year it's still the #1 issue for C-level managers. How do you align business teams and IT teams? And that Grab a Pizza game allows you to bring business people and IT people into the same game. And our latest game, which is exploding all around the world, is DevOps. There's a book called The Phoenix Project, biggest selling IT book in the world, and most companies are adopting DevOps as a practice. Now we built a game around that book, the Phoenix Project game, which is now exploding. I think we've done 400 games worldwide in the last 6 months. This is a bit of a switch that is happening in the market now from traditional project management to more agile approaches. A very powerful way of using this game is to use the game with a real project in a company. So when a company is starting a major project, you can bring all of the stakeholders together to play the simulation. We actually played this in Qatar with one of the ministries responsible for building all of the IT systems for the World Cup that's going to take place. Now these were all practicing program managers and project managers. They thought they weren't going to learn anything by playing this game. They said anybody can build a pyramid of 125 stones. They then played the simulation with each of the end-to-end stakeholders and realized they didn't do risk management like this, they didn't do quality acceptance like this. And at the end of the day, the program manager said, this will help us save millions and millions of dollars before we actually go into the World Cup, just by playing this one game with the key stakeholders. And that's the power of this experiential type of learning.